back to Ziegler, a long three. Good. Money!
Up ahead and connects with the slam to the ball. Connects way up high.
Beat the chandeliers.
Makes Jack on the flush.
Happy Big Orange Friday, everybody. Welcome to Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by UT Knoxville Alumni and Tennessee Athletics. I'm Brian Rice, UT alumni and local radio personality here in Knoxville. Thanking you so much for joining us for our virtual pep rally as we get ready for Tennessee and Alabama tomorrow. Our event would not be possible without our good friends, partners, and sponsors, including Cellular Sales, Coca-Cola, Farm Bureau Insurance, First Horizon, Food City, Graduate Knoxville, Graphic Creations, Pilot Company, PYA, Threads, and UT Medical Center. Now let's get started. Today's highlights include a live interview with VFL C.J. Watson, an interview with Associate Head Coach for Tennessee, Justin Gainey, and Tennessee guard, Jordan Gainey. We'll also have highlights from Dalton Connect's 39-point performance over Florida, keys to the game, and more. Before we jump in today, a reminder, we want to hear from you. If you have questions about the team, tomorrow's game against Alabama, or for our VFL guest, C.J. Watson, type those in the comments on any of the streaming services you're joining us from, and we will answer those later in the show. Tennessee's last game against the Florida Gators at the Food City Center was Tennessee coming out on top 85-66 after an incredible career-defining game from Dalton Connect. Let's look back at DK against the Gators.
Oh, what a fumble by Connect. Good look, and he flushes that. Connect went with his left. All three of his shots in the paint. Connect feeling it. Oh, boy, bottom of the net. Oh, wow. Connect cannot be denied. Left-handed. Oh, my goodness. Dalton Connect is in a zone. Watch it. Watch it. He is absolutely on fire.
Dalton Connect has certainly been a bright offensive spot for the Vols, been the go-to player in recent matchups, and the first SEC player with back-to-back 35-point games since some guy named Shaquille O'Neal at LSU in February 1991. He's also the first player coached by Rick Barnes with 35 points 3 times in a season since some guy named Kevin Durant. I think he has a whole shoe line. Connect's 103 points over the last 3 games, matched the highest mark of Durant's college career. And Kevin Durant paid some homage to Dalton Connect on Instagram earlier this week. Somebody else who knows about great performances is C.J. Watson. We're thrilled to welcome C.J. into the show today. Standout for the Vols from 2003 to 2006. At the conclusion of his career, C.J. ranked second all-time in assists, second all-time in steals, 6th in three-point field goal percentage, 15th in scoring. CJ, first of all, how did you rank that high in three-point percentage when you're trying to share the ball with some guy named Chris Lofton?
I don't know. I guess he let me shoot some shots, besides passing him the ball. But I just tried to be a great teammate and I tried to be the best point guard I could be.
You came in and earned SEC All-Freshman Team honors as obviously a freshman. And then there was a coaching transition during your career. What was that time? We're in the transfer portal era now. What was that time like? A new coaching staff coming in, new expectations, and having to learn a new system?
It was tough. I actually thought about declaring for the draft after my junior year when Buzz got fired and Bruce came. Obviously, everyone knows Bruce is a great guy. He's a salesman. So he sold me on, coming back and having this up-tempo offense. And that's the kind of offense I like playing in, the kind of offense I grew up playing in. So I believed in him, and, it turned out to be a great thing for me.
What was that team like when you guys exploded onto the scene your senior year? Obviously, Lofton doing what he was doing, you doing what you were doing, the front line as well. What was that whole glow up for that team in that season?
It was fun because we just looked at it as we were all underdogs. I mean, myself, Chris Lofton, major win game. Pretty much the whole, unit. We were all underdogs. We weren't really that highly recruited, and we just came in with the mindset. And Bruce came in, just come in and win the games you're supposed to, and win some games you're not supposed to, and that's what we did throughout the whole season. And I think our biggest win that season was probably beating Texas at Texas.
Reminder, if you have questions for C.J. Watson about his career or about tomorrow's game against Alabama, just type those into the box on whatever streaming service you're watching us on right now. C.J., when I told a friend of mine that I went to school with back in the day, the same era that you were on campus, that you were coming on, said you've got to ask him about knocking out Joakim Noah's tooth and then being his teammate later with the Chicago Bulls. What was that first conversation? First, take me back to the game against Florida, and then the first time that you guys chatted when you joined the Bulls.
It was just a big game. We were on the road, in Florida. Playing in Florida is a hostile environment, especially playing back then because I think that was the first time they won the first championship. So, the rowdy crowd was jumping. So I was just trying to get them off me, create some space and just be aggressive. And the elbow just accidentally flew. I really didn't do it on purpose, but I actually knocked his tooth out. And then, fast forward years later, he's my teammate when I joined the Chicago Bulls. And, it was just a funny experience. The first thing he says, no more elbows in practice. And we both started laughing. So I think, it's just in competition. And it was just fun just to see that and to, know that we can just look back on it and laugh at it.
Coming out of college, you were undrafted and played overseas for a season, then came back to the States in the G League before signing a couple of 10-day contracts with the Warriors and then catching on there and having a long NBA career from there. What was that first season going overseas and then coming back to the G League like, and how did you go from that point to having this long, sustained NBA career starting with the Warriors?
It was tough. So my first year I went to Italy, just coming straight from college, being around a team atmosphere. Everyone speaks English. Everyone, knows you. Having a family type of environment, then going overseas to no one speaking any English. You have to learn, a different language. Maybe two people on the team speaking English. So it was definitely different. And then also just living by myself, having to cook for myself. At UT we have all these good cooked meals, all this catering food all the time. So it was definitely different, but it helped me grow up fast. Helped me just be more determined, just more resilient also, and just play with the chip on my shoulder to get to the place where I knew I could play at, which was the NBA.
What was that first season with the Warriors like, catching on, signing the 10-day contract, getting the second 10-day contract, and then joining them for the rest of the season and for the 2 seasons after that?
It was cool because I looked up to players like Baron Davis, Al Harrington, Monte Ellis. I played with those guys on the video game, constantly when I was in college. And then now I'm, with practice with these guys and being able to ask them questions and pick their brain and get information from them. So it was fun. And Coach Nelson just, kind of just threw me in the fire. He just let me do whatever I wanted and told me to just go out there and play my game. And that's what I did. And, it kind of just stuck with me.
Behind you there, you have a photo of yourself playing with the Magic, the last of your NBA teams. But you got around between the Nets, the Pacers, the Magic, and the aforementioned Warriors and Bulls. Not journeyman status, but you got a lot of experience in a lot of different systems playing for a lot of really good coaches.
Yeah, all the different coaches were definitely different. From the Coach Nelson to Coach Tibbs, he was super defensive minded. Like I said, to Frank Vogel, who's defensive minded also. So I think it definitely had showed my I guess, wherewithal and how I can adapt to different situations. I just tried to be the best teammate I could, put me in any situation I can or any system I can play well.
Let's take a question from some of our viewers here this afternoon. Mallory asks, what was your favorite memory from your time at Tennessee?
I would just say just meeting the people, going to football games, doing college type stuff, hanging out with friends. I think I remember still to this day, my first day going to campus was just, like a shell shocked. I'm a city guy from Las Vegas, going to a country town, small town. So it was definitely different, but it helped me grow up.
What was the basketball scene like back then in Vegas? 'Cause obviously we see it now. It hosts the Summer League every year. Still produce a lot of great high school talent. Hosted the All-Star Game, and that sports city has really grown up. What was it like when you were coming out of there, the sports scene and kind of building in that city?
We really didn't really have a sports scene. The only thing we had was the UNLV Rebels, like the Running Rebels, Tark Rebels. So I think now it's definitely a sports city, an entertainment city. And like you see, you see a lot more athletes coming out in all different sports. So Vegas is definitely growing, and I feel like it's it's the best city in the world.
What has it been like watching and following Tennessee over these last few years with Rick Barnes? Obviously, Bruce Pearl era ends, and there's a little wandering in the desert in between, but Rick Barnes has come in as an experienced head coach and kind of built this thing back to being a consistent NCAA team and SEC championship contender every year.
Yeah, he's come in, and put his stamp on this team. He definitely is a Hall of Fame type coach. Obviously, all the great players he coached at Texas, and then just coming here and coaching great players. I feel like they're going to win the national championship this year. I don't know, but I just definitely think they have all the tools to get it done. They play defense, they play have offense, and they have a mix of upperclassmen and young guys just going in there and just getting that experience. I think that's what you need.
Let's take another question from our audience. What was your favorite away venue to play in? Was it an SEC place? Was it a non-conference opponent? Your favorite place to go on the road?
Favorite place to go on the road was probably Florida. I mean, it was always warm weather when we went there, definitely during the wintertime. So that was always good. Reminded me of home. And their crowd was always crazy and fun. And their colors were my high school colors, orange and blue. So I definitely liked them.
What was your favorite pro venue?
Pro venue, I would have to say either Staples Center, which is now Crypto, or the New York Knicks, Madison Square Garden, just because of the energy in the building. And it's always fun to play there.
As you watch this current Tennessee team, we mentioned Dalton Connect in the Open, with what he's done, putting up 30-plus points night after night, have you ever seen somebody burst onto a scene as a transfer like this guy has?
No, I don't think so. The only person kind of remind me would be CeeLo, Chris Lofton, but he wasn't a transfer. But like to say, just the way he's coming in, he's playing with so much confidence, and the confidence that coach is giving him too. You probably rarely see that in transfers. But they kind of got to take a backseat a little bit. But he's coming in and just stealing the show and playing great and just putting Rocky Top on his back.
How do you defend somebody like him who can pull up and just launch a three from up top or drive? And he's got to be a matchup nightmare for every coach that's trying to draw something up.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, you can't defend him. You just got to hope he miss. You just got to try to make it hard on him, and like I said, just hope he miss and get the rebound and try to do something else.
Tennessee takes on Alabama tomorrow at the Food City Center. Really fun matchup. This is an Alabama team that doesn't have a bad loss. All of their losses on the season have been to potential NCAA tournament teams, a couple of them on the road. But they also don't have a lot of big wins. This is a big opportunity for them tomorrow, and Tennessee took Alabama down last year when they were the number one team in the country. How do you evaluate Alabama as they come in to play Tennessee tomorrow?
Like you said, they're coming in as an underdog, obviously. Everyone wants to come in and beat a top-ranked team like Tennessee, especially on their home court. But I think if Tennessee can come in, control the boards, Dalton Connect can do the same thing he's been doing. Maybe if he doesn't, some other players have to step up and help him out. But I think they'll be fine at home.
You played with some really talented players. What do the other players on the roster have to do to, I don't know if it's maintain the focus is the right word for it, but to keep playing their game while Dalton Connect is doing what he's doing to make sure that they're a complement and not just standing back and watching the magic?
Just staying aggressive. I think that's the biggest thing, like you said, just standing back and enjoying the show as all of us are doing. But being aggressive, staying aggressive, and just taking advantage of the opportunities when they get them.
All right, grab me a couple of keys to the game tomorrow. I know you mentioned rebounding there a moment ago. A couple of keys to Tennessee and Alabama tomorrow.
I would say limit the turnovers and getting out and push on the transition break. I think that they do that very well. And also, like I said, just scoring. If Dalton is not on, how can the others help him out and keep that scoring pace up to keep him in the winning percentage?
Have you been able to get back to any games in Knoxville here recently?
I haven't. I think I'm coming to the Auburn game in February.
Awesome. It's always cool. Last year when Tennessee retired Chris Lofton's jersey and seeing so many familiar faces from back in the day that were there for that. And I know there will be a big ovation for C.J. Watson when you walk in the building for that game later this season.
Hey, I'm just coming to support the team, man, and I love to see him keep winning, and I love just cheering for him.
Update people on what you're doing now. Obviously, we talked about the long NBA career and even a year overseas on the back end of it. What have you been doing since hanging up the sneakers?
I write children's books. I've written 4 children's books so far. So that's just something that kind of inspires me and wanted to give back. I also have a foundation here for kids. Me and my wife have a vending machine business. and also I invest in tech companies. So just staying busy, and I have 3 kids too. So they're my oldest is an athlete, so she's just out there, just trying to make a name for herself and do good.
Hey, if people want to find out more about the children's books and the foundation, how do they do that?
You can go to cjpens.com, and the foundation is quietstormfoundation.org.
CJ, thanks so much for giving us some of your time today. Great to catch up with you, and congratulations on your great career and the fun things you're doing now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That is VFL C.J. Watson joining us here on Countdown to Tip-Off. And again, check out his website and his foundation with some of the great things he's doing for kids now. VFL Films caught up with associate head coach Justin Gainey and current Vol Jordan Gainey about their dynamic working together for the Vols.
He's really good at what he does. Being able to be here and see what he does on a day-to-day basis, and how his work ethic, he's always in the office, always breaking down film. He puts in as much work as all of us players do, and it really pays off and goes to show as much work as you put in, success is going to come out on the back end of it.
Just his relentless work ethic, and that's something that, we would talk about a lot when we were young growing up, and just to see the work and the time that he puts in, that when I wasn't with him, I didn't really know, when he was in college, and I didn't, I didn't realize how much he loved it and how much he worked at it. And now to see, coming back at night after practice, during practice, his drive and work ethic is something that I had no idea of, and that that I've learned. And then the other thing I would say is his passion for shopping. I didn't realize he had such a passion for clothes and fashion sense, and his passion for shopping. So those would be the things that I learned.
It's great to see their dynamic. It's a fun thing to see for the Tennessee Volunteers. Look forward to continued success there. Now we bring in somebody who's been very busy all through the fall and will continue on in to the spring, and that is our Director of Special Events, Jordan Brantley Pruitt. Jordan, you guys did some great work in the fall with tailgates on the road, tailgates at home before Tennessee football games. I know you have some fun basketball events coming up as well, but welcome in to Countdown to Tip-Off today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Brian. Our team has been hard at work getting all of these events ready to go for our alumni around the nation, and we're going to talk to you a little bit more about those today. So thank you for being here, Brian, and we want to give a big shout out again to CJ Watson for being here today. It's always great to have VFLs come home, even when it's come home virtually. So CJ, thanks again for being here. Like Brian said, my name is Jordan Brantley Pruitt. I'm going to talk to you all really quickly today about 3 different things that we ask all of our alumni to do. And the first is to be proud. And a great way of being proud is to wear your Tennessee orange every day. We're all being told to wear orange tomorrow to the Bama game. So if you're in Knoxville or surrounding areas and you're coming to Thompson Bowling Arena tomorrow at Food City Center, be sure you have your orange on as the Vols get ready to beat Bama. Another way you can do that and take your orange with you all the time is by switching your license plate to orange. You can switch it out by going to alumni.utk.edu/license plate. All of those license plates that are purchased directly support our student scholarships here at the University of Tennessee. And so many of our students are in that need of financial support when it comes to achieving their degree. And you can help with that by just switching your license plate out to the official Tennessee license plate. The second way that you can be be involved with our office is by joining Connect UT. Connect UT is a new virtual platform that we have where all of our alumni are able to connect with our students and with our other alums around the nation. So just how CJ's coming home virtually to join us today on Countdown to Tip-Off, you can join us virtually at Connect UT. And it's very simple. All you have to do is go to this website right here on the screen. You can sign up with your LinkedIn profile. It takes about 3 minutes to get yourself registered on there. And that is free and available for all of our alums around the country. Last but certainly not least is to be invested. We ask all of our alumni to make one gift any size every year. Every gift matters, from $5 to $500. Every gift really does make an impact here at the University of Tennessee. Last year, we had our biggest giving year in history, and we are looking to repeat that with this upcoming year in 2024. So if you will, please make sure you visit giving.utk.edu to make your one gift any size every year. Before the Vols take on Bama tomorrow, we want to get you nice and hyped up. So we're going to drop a video real quick, and then we're going to toss it back to Brian to bring us home. Thanks for being here, everybody. And as always, go Vols.
It's going to be a fun one tomorrow at the Food City Center. Be sure to get locked in and drive safely. It's been a little icy, a little snowy here in East Tennessee over the last week. Some travel issues around, but the main roads have been clear. If you can get out tomorrow, do it safely and get to your seat to make this a great home court environment tomorrow for Tennessee and Alabama. We want to thank you so much for joining us for Countdown to Tip-Off. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as the Vols take on Alabama, 2 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. Also, want to be sure that you join us for our next Countdown to Tip-Off show coming up on February 29th as the Lady Vols meet South Carolina. We'll get you hyped and ready for that one with a full preview of a big matchup that will take place here at the Food City Center. As always, I want to say go Big Orange. Let's beat the Crimson Tide. We'll see you next time on Countdown to Tip-Off.